All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. Let me get some of this. Welcome to the stream, ninjas. We are live. Let me, as you guys know, I just knocked out a quick little workout. Cannot be fat. You guys know how that goes. Hold on, fixing up the screen. All right. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream, ninjas. Welcome. We are live on a Saturday. As you guys know, I told you guys that Saturdays are going to be, days that we stream as well. Mostly where we're going to stream most of the content on Rumble, Party and OSS. But yeah, so let me go ahead and look at some of these chats here. We got Mr. Clapcheeks, W-Ice, WSS, W Myron. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, my friend. Let's see here. I think we're caught up on everything. Everything is good. How's the audio and video coming in good, guys? Everything should be looking nice and crispy from what I see here. Obviously, we got the Frank cam in full effect. As you guys can see, he's chilling right there as well. You got me here, boom. The spaceship, as you guys could see. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that delay, guys. Obviously, last night we had a very long stream. You guys know we had our debate table. They shut us down because they're losers. And after they shut us down, I came back in here and I did another stream. We covered a bunch of different topics. It was a good time. And we were on for what, like 3 hours or something like that. Another day before that, you guys know I was in D.C. with General Flynn and gave a speech over there. Got to meet some people. It was a good time. And then I came right back. We talked about Sudan. We made fun of Puerto Ricans. We had a good old time. So yeah, that's where we are now. Also, let me see here. What's going on here? Let me refresh this page real quick. Give me one second, just. Also, guys, you guys know that we made some changes to the way we view things. It's been almost a week now. How are you guys liking this 1080p? For those of you that used to watch on Rumble and YouTube, I used to stream in 4K, but the problem with streaming in 4K is I can't get the super chats to show up on screen. So like now I can highlight your guys' chat. See? Someone says something from Rumble, YouTube, locals, right? See, I can highlight on the screen. For example, Ghost JQ sends in a super chat. I can show that on screen. I don't know why it says that 002, but that really means $2 chat, by the way. When it says like 002 like that, it means really it's $2. I don't know why it moves it over a tenth, but whatever. But yeah, so now I can actually show you guys the chats. You guys can get more involved in the show. So if you donate on Rumble or if you donate on OSS, I can show it up on screen. Hell, I can even show you guys chats from people on YouTube. Like, look, boom, looks the same to me, right? That's what Randolph Rubin says here, right? Colts Walker says 4K is overrated. I liked it because it looked really good. But the problem that sucked with the 4K, guys, is that I was not able to use the streaming software that I'm using, which allows me to put chats on screen. So, it's a give and a take. Quality goes down a little bit, but now you guys can get more involved in the show. I can show you guys, I can show you guys chats on screen, stuff like that. So it gets you guys more engaged. Which, by the way, as you guys know, if you donate on OSS, I read everything, $1 and up. From Rumble, I'll make the limit today $5. So if you donate on Rumble $5 and above, I'll read. But for OSS, $1 and whatever you donate, I read. That's one of the benefits. And also, just so you guys know, it only costs you $1 to join the OSS, man. Just use the code LYouTube, jump in for a month. And yeah, that's how we fight back against censorship, So that is what it is. And I was going to go live at 10 today, but like I said before, you guys know we did a really late night show last night. So I was like, man, let me make sure I get some sleep so I can give you guys a good stream. Because the way I look at it is like, doing a stream when I'm super tired, it makes the stream worse. So I'm like, you know what? I'd rather push it back and give y'all a good one, give y'all a banger. And we'll be able to go a little bit longer than usual too. So what else do we got here? Peter Bailey says, let's go cook these niggas, J's and beanbags. Okay, yeah. Got to get off JTube. Yeah, we're going to get off JTube soon. Don't worry. We're not going to be on JTube that long today. We're going to go to Party only for a bit. As you guys know, on weekends, we're going to be streaming on Party, prioritizing Party, and OSS as always. So that's kind of where we're at. So I got a video here to show you guys. Someone sent me this on my DMs, which was hilarious. We got here, Uggan Star says, FYI, I don't know if it is MC or Rumble, but sometimes Rumble does not allow to donate. Yeah, you might have to be signed into your account, bro. You might have to be signed into your account to be able to do that, Augustin. But this is the beauty of being on OSS, bro. When you're on OSS, you don't got to worry about that stuff. You know what I mean? So, that's what it is, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and get into this video I found. Check this out.
Who are you voting for mayor?
I am voting Mamdani.
And why?
Because he's the most obvious choice.
What makes him an obvious choice for you?
It's just like, I'm trying to think.
Bruh.
This reminds me of a certain comedy sketch where the comedian was like, we could either vote in one guy and he's gonna give everybody free houses, free rent, and he's gonna give everybody a Lamborghini, or we could vote in somebody who's gonna burn down the city. That's why I'm voting Mamdani, because I'm voting for the guy who give me the Lamborghini.
Yeah, so you think Mamdani's like just gonna give you guys everything?
Not everything. I'm saying it's the most obvious choice.
What do you think is gonna happen with government-run grocery stores and free buses? Do you think that sounds like a good idea?
That does sound like a good idea.
Bruh.
And freezing the rent?
That does sound like a good idea.
What if they have to freeze the rent to the point where eventually then the landlord's not able to come in and fix the washer and make a profit on his own lease?
That's their problem.
Who are you voting for mayor?
I am voting Mamdani.
And why?
Because he's the most obvious choice.
What makes him an obvious choice for you?
It's just like, I'm trying to think. This reminds me of a certain comedy sketch where the comedian was like, we could either vote in one guy and he's gonna give everybody free houses, free rent, and he's gonna give everybody a Lamborghini, or we could vote in somebody who's gonna burn down the city. That's why I'm voting Mamdani, because I'm voting for the guy who give me the Lamborghini.
Yeah, so you think Mamdani's like just gonna give you guys everything?
Not everything. I'm saying it's the most obvious choice.
What do you think is gonna happen with government-run grocery stores and free buses? Do you think that sounds like a good idea?
That does sound like a good idea.
And freezing the rent?
That does sound like a good idea.
What if they have to freeze the rent to the point where eventually then the landlord's not able to come in and fix the washer and make a profit on his own lease?
That's their problem.
Who?
Yeah, and this is what it is, man. And this new generation of kids and people just want handouts, dude. That's really what it comes down to. And the crazy part, guys, is this is the norm way of thinking in New York City. It's expensive, and they're like, fuck it, I don't care. I want to be able to, get free buses, get free shit all the time. But what they don't understand is, like, to get this free stuff, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? That's going to be taxes, right? But obviously for these brokies, to them, they look at it like, oh, it doesn't matter because they're going to, they're not paying for it, right? But what they don't understand is that the system buckles under itself when you have all this, social welfare. And socialism, right? I've only seen one nigga really implement it and have it work. And you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, okay? A certain painter back in the day. But this is just absolutely nuts. And this is why I say all the time, bro, like, this is why you got to repeal the 19th from women. You just got to repeal the 19th, bro. This is absolutely fucking nuts. But yeah, and the scary part is like, people like this have the right to vote, chat. People like this have the right to vote. All right, we got Curtis Leon says, what does he say? When the MGX Durex coming out? I don't think ever. Most knowledge streamer out here with the highest quality setup. Don DeMarco for yourself. W Mark, keep with the hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate that, Dob and Dan 92. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, dude. My goal is to be like diversified, be able to cover a bunch of different topics with you guys, teach you guys things here and there. Cover not just politics from a deep analytical perspective, but also be able to cover culture, true crime, break down the news together, foreign conflicts, what's going on geopolitically from an international perspective, giving you guys a good base on foreign policy. I think a lot of you guys really enjoy my foreign policy stuff when I talk about, what's going on in the Middle East, with whether it be with Israel or Sudan or any of these other places, Russia. I think that's something in American media we don't cover enough. We don't cover enough foreign policy, in the U.S. And that's obviously by design because they don't want people to know what the fuck Israel's doing over there. So I take great joy in being able to educate you guys on a lot of this stuff. I mean, I was the one that J-pilled a lot of you guys on this stuff. You guys had no clue about what the fuck was going on in the Middle East. And I don't blame y'all because the mainstream media purposely leaves that shit out. It wasn't until October 7th, right, and the genocide that followed after that Western media finally started to cover what was going on because they were being forced. It was being shown on TikTok and X and, but the occupation guy's been going on for a very long time. So yeah, dude, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be one of the, better political streamers for you guys. Another thing too is, a lot of you guys watch me for news. So, a couple of you guys said in chat, yo, Myron, I don't watch the news anymore. I watch you. So I'm like, oh shit. Then I really got to make sure I'm on point. Right? Because that's a very, if you're watching me for news, then I take that very seriously because that means you're not subscribing to CNN or Fox News, or you'd rather me watch it with you guys to kind of give you guys my interpretation of what they're saying and stuff like that. Because as you guys know, I watch a wide range. I watch Israeli news. I watch Al Jazeera. I watch American news. I watch, foreign news. I watch it all. So I try to give you guys a more somewhat balanced take. Or the best to my abilities. Everyone is going to be biased to a degree. But I do try to play both sides. I mean, hell, you guys have watched me on streams here where I literally play Israeli television, then I go ahead and play Al Jazeera television. And I go back and forth with y'all on stream. You guys have seen me do that. So, Peter Bailey, that dude Curtis is a troll and talks mad shit. Roasted a black ass. Whatever, bro. I just ignore retards. Peter Bailey, Myron, needs some white Nike hoodies, Ninja Watcher, and OSS. Also some white hats. Merch got to go crazy. I think we have some white stuff for real niggas recognize real niggas. Knox, she was voted for Mamdani 100% because he's not white, which is why she hesitated on the explanation. No, I think she's just an idiot, bro. Guys, if you ask most people why they're voting for the candidate, they will not be able to tell you X, Y, Z why they're doing it. Most people do not vote for policy. Let me make this explicitly clear for you guys, okay? Understand this one thing when it comes to politics for most people. Most people don't actually vote on policy. Most people vote on, do I like the candidate or not? Okay? That is one of the biggest red pills you guys are going to get with politics. If you ask if I gave and I'll give you guys an example. Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump isn't really a Republican, chat. He really isn't. Outside of his immigration take, he's not really a Republican. He's more like a 90s fucking Democrat. But if I took his policies and set it to a libtard that hates Trump and said, oh yeah, these are some of his policies outside of immigration, they would probably agree with it to a degree. The only reason they lose their minds is because it's Donald Trump. So the reason why Trump has so much support as well as so many haters isn't because of his actual policy. Rather, it's they don't like or they do like Trump. This is why MAGA is a force in itself. And the GOP is going to struggle, right, after this term with building a base because once Trump leaves, MAGA is going to be effectively dead. He's going to probably transition over to J.D. Vance. But J.D. Vance does not strike me as a charismatic leader that can command a room or command presence like Donald Trump did, right? Obviously, J.D. Vance is a better speaker. He's a bit far more polished because he's a politician. But that is not why Donald Trump became popular in the first place. It's actually because Donald Trump is not a politician that he became so wildly popular. It's because of his inability to sugarcoat things or speak in a politically correct manner, or the fact that he blurts out random things out of nowhere, right? That is seems like, what the hell, this guy's nuts. He's not controlled. Well, he's unpredictable. There you go. That's the best way I could describe Donald Trump is he's unpredictable, right? So that's why his base loves him so much. So that's what it comes down to when it comes to voting. Most people don't vote on the candidate. They vote. Most people do not vote on policy. They vote on the candidate. I'll give you guys another example. When I voted, right? I told y'all already. When I was voting last year, 2024, I said, what are the three things I care about the most? I cared about foreign policy, staying out of foreign wars, immigration, and then third, I think, was the economy, right? Those are the three things that I voted for, and I can, articulate to you guys why I voted why I did. If you take a bunch of normal people and you tell them, hey, why'd you, even if people that voted for Trump, they won't be able to tell you why or articulate, precisely why they voted for him. They might say some dumb shit like, we just can't have Kamala, or I like Trump because I like Trump. A lot of people, and same thing with Kamala. Why are you voting for Kamala over Trump? Outside of abortion, most women can articulate the reason why. And most lefties can't do it either. Or they'll just say, I just hate Donald Trump. So that's a big red pill you guys got to understand in in politics is most people don't have the mental capacity, the IQ, or the understanding of how politics works in America to actually make informed decisions on who they vote for based on policy. They just don't. It's fucking WWE wrestling. Vote for the person that you like the most. This is why, think about it. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they spent a lot of time doing like random shit. For example, what was Kamala Harris doing? She was going and buying like jazz records, right? Making sure that the media was there to capture her. She was buying like music albums on vinyl. Donald Trump went to McDonald's and worked the day at McDonald's with the apron on, right? So it was more about fucking WWE theatrics versus actual real policy. When they debated, the debate, they barely talked about policy. What do we all remember from the debate? They're eating cats and dogs. Right? So that's what it is, guys. That's what it is when it comes to elections and politics in general. So, yeah, long story short, bro, they said she's voting because of race. You just got to underestimate most people's IQs, man. Most people are really stupid. Saito says, /not related, I need your help. Could you expand more on the relationship between single father / single mother? The good, the bad, and ugly. Thank you. That's not really today's topic, bro. But to keep it simple, the reason why single fathers do better than single mothers is because fathers typically are the disciplinarians. And disciplining kids is critical to them not becoming fuck-ups, which single mothers tend to lack. Capitalist Joker, I've been in the red pill and dissident right wing spaces for 10 years. Monitor for some of the best analysis out there today. Was always a fan of FNF, but this past year I've been really impressed. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man, I'm not a one-trick pony, dude. You know, like, the problem with the red pill, right? And not just like, because when I talk about the red pill, I talk about the red pill as in like dating, right? When it comes to like, manosphere content, red pill content, when it comes to dating, whatever, is that it's very one-dimensional. We can sit here and talk about racial relationship dynamics and everything else like that. That's great. It's one of the things that, I've talked about for years. But I do think it's important to expand that red pill mindset of like, investigating everything and, looking at things critically. I think it's very important to take that mindset and apply it to other realms as well, whether it's politics, culture, foreign affairs, anything. It's very important to understand this stuff and apply that red lens to everything. That's why when I talk about the red pill, to me, it's nothing more than truth. It's just telling the truth about certain topics, right? And that will really tell you what it is. Anybody can get on a mic and talk about hypergamy and how women are hypergamous and they do X, Y, Z, but not many people are going to talk to you guys about who actually led feminism. That all of a sudden niggas are like, oh, right? If we're going to go ahead and dunk on fucking feminism and women being thoughts and hypergamy and the Sheryl Sandberg manner, which, by the way, if you're wondering, Sheryl Sandberg.
Every single time, every single crime.
Yeah. If we're going to actually be able to attack this problem, we got to understand where that problem came from. And we know where it came from, bro. We definitely know where it came from.
It's not my fault that I have to do this. You only pick on me because I'm...
Anyway. But no, thank you, bro. I appreciate that you've been watching this stuff for a bit and everything. Yeah. The problem is a lot of these guys are one-dimensional, bro, and that's not cool. You got to be able to expand. That's why I like to be diversified. Who is JD most likely to hook up with, Peter Thiel or Erica Kirk? Ha ha ha, I see what you did there. Rumble account. Would you ever do a collab debate with Table with Andrew Wilson? That'd be fire WSS. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if they let us back on college campuses. Bro, these college campuses are fucking doing everything in their power to keep me out, bro. Man, they're giving Sean a hard time over at Uncensored America. Oh, which, by the way, guys, video is up. If you guys want to see that debate table that I did, it is up on Uncensored America right now, by the way. I'll show you guys real quick. It's up on either my Rumble or Uncensored America on YouTube. Here it is right here. She said, fuck me for saying. They had to shut us down. But yeah, here it is right here, guys. And I also have it up on my Rumble as well, wherever you guys prefer to watch. She said, fuck me. If you guys want it on YouTube, here it is. If you guys want it on Rumble, it's right here. Okay? So wherever you guys want it. Rumble or YouTube. Uncensored America on YouTube or Myron Gaines X on Rumble. Whichever one you ninjas choose. We give you guys choice over here. Jubacabra says, WMRWSS I chatted the other day asking about clipping, but I heard you say people can clip for you directly. How to get in contact with Brett? Also, if you bum ass JTube niggas don't have $1 join OSS, then what the fuck are you doing? Bro, I don't know what they're doing. What was I gonna say? Hey, my thoughts on that one podcaster who got a snow bunny pregnant and she has kids from a previous marriage. Apparently is a red pillar who preaches against this. I can send you the tweet if you want. It has 4 million views. Bro, it's not really my business. We, the United States, conquered Puerto Rico from the Spanish. We took their land, got our own little vacation spot. We own them. They get mad about that shit, bro. O/Groiper with the O/ thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Gaming Rose says, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in office, whether it is the mayor, governor, or president. Being a successful relies upon yourself and make money no matter who's in office. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. On your recent appearance in Bradley Martin's podcast, early in the conversation, he said that he wants to talk to you about your debate with Sneeko, but that topic never appeared in the episode. Was that part cut out, or did he just forget to get that topic? I guess we might have forgot it because we covered so many other different things. Yeah, I guess we didn't get to cover it. Which, oh, by the way, guys, also a new interview dropped right here. Jack Neel, or Jack Neel right here if you guys want. Make sure to go check out this interview. Put it in here for your later list, okay? Did this interview with Jack Neel. Really smart, inquisitive young man, right? He let me really expand on some of my talking points and stuff like that, which is great. You know, because as you guys know, a lot of people don't allow that. So shout out to Jack Neel for giving me a platform here. So I'm all over the place. We got a hater here, Scott Sterner, 1776. Scott says, Myron Gaines X Amru, fucking loser. Well, that's weird. You're coming in here and calling me by my first name and saying I'm a loser. Yet I don't even know you exist or who you are. What does that make you then? And then he says, didn't you do rowing in college, LMAO? Yeah, I did. At a Division I level too. I had a resting heart rate of 36 back then. That's how in fucking B shape I was. Running a mile in fucking like 5 minutes. What the fuck did you do, Jack, whatever the fuck your name is? Or Scott Turner, 76, you fucking retard? Yeah, I love hecklers, man. Niggas are losers talking shit. They talk about rowing, but like half you niggas, bro, you're out of shape talking all this crap. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, but yeah, this was the interview I did with Jack Neel. Good interview, man, guys. Go check it out. I'll drop the link for you guys again. Blue-eyed Billy trying to send a super chat. You got to send a super chat on Rumble, bro, or on OSS. That's the only way I get them. I'm demonetized on YouTube, as you guys know. Myron, realistically, where and when does this end? Does it even end? I mean, Killers of Christ. Well, they're not going anywhere, bro. Let's be honest. Jiggy says, hey, Myron, I know you don't care much for video games, but why is Congress so concerned about the Saudis buying EA and should be concerned about it? Always comes down to power, bro. Bend Over 00 says, would you let me work for you for free? I make landing pages, have e-com plus sales experience, and I'm bilingual. Let me improve value. I mean, talk to Brett. Maybe Brett can utilize you in some degree. Hey, Myron, I met you at the Austin airport a couple weeks back. It was nice meeting you. Also, you should wear suits more often. Thanks, B-Prop 87. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about wearing suits. You heard about the FBI raids in Dearborn yesterday? 3 to 5 Arab teens arrested planning a Halloween attack somewhere. No, I did not hear about that. O/Groiper. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chats. Did some of the Tic Tac video from Commander Fravor, don't know. Bob says, I believe in 20 years, NF will be revered as a pioneer breaking the United States out of the Israeli chains. Definitely woke a lot of people up. No homo, but rowing is impressive. Thank you very much. My PR on a 2K, by the way, was 608 or 609, which is fucking fast. Sub 610 is fast. So, yeah. For the OSS 300, do you need engineers or pharma or aerospace? Not sure if immune skill set matters for what you need. Yes, bro. The more engineers, pharmacists, aerospace, I want people of high skill in different realms. That's what I want. So yeah, bro, absolutely. But I don't want no brokies. If $98 a month for you, you're gonna cry about it. I don't want you in there. I want guys in there where $98 is literally nothing, right? So we want an organization of very successful guys that have their shit together. That's the goal. But anyway, yeah, this interview I did with Jack, good stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get into what's the first thing we can cover. Yeah, we got a lot of shit to cover, ninjas. All right, let's go ahead and get into Nick, right? As you guys know, congratulations to Nick. He went ahead and did Tucker Carlson. Big fucking deal. I would argue Tucker Carlson is probably the number one conservative podcaster. Him and Candace Owens are running shit right now. So for him to appear on that is huge. Obviously they had some choice words for each other before, but they were able to sit down and have a discussion. And obviously, media went fucking nuts on this shit. So let's play a portion of this interview, and then we'll go ahead and go into Piers Morgan having Dave Smith and bitch-ass Seth Dillon on to discuss this, because him breaking containment has been pissing off a lot of people, and I'm here for it.
Nick Fuentes, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I wanted to meet you. I've heard about you.
And I did not watch this interview. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, yo, Myron, can you react to this? So here we are. But I purposely not watch it so that I can kind of watch it for the first time with you guys.
I've heard about you.
So, well, thank you. I want to understand what you believe, and I want to give you a chance in a minute to just lay it out, not what you're pivoting against, which are a lot of the same thing. I agree with you on some of the things you're pivoting against for sure, but what do you affirmatively believe? So I just want to stand back and let you explain it. But first I want to understand how you got to where you are, how you became Nick Fuentes. So this is my understanding of your life arc, and tell me if I'm wrong. You show up at Boston University. You grew up in a suburb of Chicago, kind of working class, western suburb, and you show up at Boston University in the fall of 2016.
So let me show you guys something real quick to show you guys how obsessed some people are. This dude made a Rumble account called Myron is a Sudanese coon, and he says, Amru, you're a loser, petty shill. Just stop emanating your own problems out of personal discontent you may have with yourself. Smelly Sudanese, you always complaining. If you're so perfect, then go back to Khartoum. I think he means Khartoum is what he meant to say. Now, imagine how obsessed you have to be to make a Rumble account, make that name as your Rumble account, attach your credit card to your Rumble account, tune into the stream, type that all up, and then send it in. My friend, I think you need to go outside and touch grass. That is fucking hilarious. You went to all that trouble to make an account, say all this bullshit, and now you're getting banned to the Shadow Realm forever. Congratulations, dumbass. You played yourself. Thanks for the $2, you fucking dumbass. And now you're banned to the Shadow Realm, nigga. Get out of here.
At the height of the battle between Trump and Hillary. It's like this kind of pivot point in history. And you show up with a MAGA hat, and you have a Trump hat, and you have like basically off-the-shelf Republican views?
Yes.
And so describe what the views that you had then, and then describe what happened. About that.
Yeah. And I was a libertarian, so I saw him as a big government, 1990s liberal. When he was asked about healthcare, he said, well, we'll take care of everybody. And I said, I'm a Rand Paul guy, Ted Cruz guy. Those were kind of my people back in 2015.
You like Ted Cruz?
I was a cruise missile.
Does Cruz know that?
I don't think so, no. I was actually on his campaign.
You were on the Ted Cruz campaign?
I don't know if I was on the campaign, but I door knocked in
Target. I'm not going after MTG, who's like the most sincere like, why not go after Ted Cruz? I don't understand.
Well, again, with Marjorie, I was a friend of hers, and she spoke at my conference, and then the day after, she pretended like she didn't know me. And that was in 2022.
But it's a continuum. Like you said yourself, you showed up in college, like one set of views, they evolve as you interact with reality, as the reality itself changes, as like you learn things, you grow, like whatever, people change.
Well, and look, now that everyone agrees with me, I will graciously forgive them for being
But why
so
make
hostile.
it personal? Like, who cares?
It's not personal for me. Like with Marjorie.
And with a lot of them, it was personal for them. They tried to destroy him. It was very personal for a lot of these people.
If she wanted to, be aligned or whatever, I would totally be on board with her.
But where do you disagree with her?
I don't know, because I don't know what her new views are. She's really only come around on Israel this year. And I've been talking about this issue for 10 years. And
right. Okay. All right. You win. But like,
no, but it's not like that. It's just, it feels like BS to me that, and I said this on Twitter the other day, it's like I got treated like I didn't exist.
Right, I get it.
Canceled for 10 years for saying these things. And that's really where all this drama comes from. A time when there was this intense censorship and nobody was on board with this stuff. Like, again, Marjorie, she fired, one of my people was working in her office. She fired that guy because someone found out that a groyper was working in her office. And, that guy got his life ruined. And she pretended like she didn't know me and lied and said, I had no idea the conference I was speaking at. She knew exactly what it was. And that's fine. But now that she's on the same page, there's like this expectation like, okay, well, why did you have a problem with her in the past? It's like, because she was on the other team in the past.
Yeah, well, so was everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
so now
so are you.
Yeah,
I mean, so what? I mean, what? Why not? It's got to be bigger than just like us, right? And it's not. I don't think. Well, I'll speak for myself. I don't feel like I'm at war with the neocons or Israel. It's much bigger than that. It's like you want to restore America to a place where your grandchildren would enjoy growing up. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and as far as Marjorie,
so it's not who cares. You know what I mean? Like, okay, lots of people hurt if Dave Rubin called me tonight,
and she's not the first politician to backstab him like this. Joe Kent did the same bullshit, and he basically lost an election, because he did that, and the Groypers basically made him lose by a sliver, which is hilarious. But yeah, bro, I mean, he only had one thing: don't denounce me, and the guy fucking denounced him like a pussy, and Joe Kent paid the price for that. Right. And I do remember that MJT did some bullshit like that too, but it's good that he's like, I didn't know the details he's explaining now. I knew that she had spoken to half-pack and that she, tried to play off like she didn't know who he was after, but I didn't know that one of his, she fired a staffer or someone that worked for her because of that. I did not know that.
Never do, though he has my cell. And said, I'm really sorry I called you Hitler. Like, I didn't mean it. You're raising lots of legitimate questions, which I think I sort of agree with or am thinking about in a deeper way. I'd be like, great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
And look, Tucker, that's why I'm sitting here, Right. I mean, because we had a contentious dialogue.
Well, I thought you were a Fed. I thought you were.
Okay, now they're going to get into this part.
A Fed.
I was a Fed.
Yeah.
I'm not a Fed. But whatever, I don't care what people think.
We showed each other a badge as we know well.
No, but I thought you were a Fed because I
feel like I'm in Fedception. A former Fed is watching two guys discuss whether they are Feds. This is fucking hilarious. Right? It's like, what's going on here? An actual former Fed is watching two guys call each other Feds. This is actually awesome to see and witness.
It's like, why not? It's not cucking to say you're not talking about all Jews when
Let me make sure I put my Kamala book up here. Kamala Harris, the savior of America.
You oppose a foreign policy position. It's not. There's nothing liberal about that. It's just true. That's the Christian position, okay? And two, why are you attacking like the best people and not the worst people?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, he disavowed me for my views on Israel and said I talk too much about white people and Christianity. And to me, that's like a sincere ideological disagreement.
I get it.
And same thing with Marjorie. Marjorie fired my guy. She disavowed me. And, and you worked with Blumenthal on that article.
Which is cowardly, by the way, to disavow someone after you work with them because of pressure from other people. You know how many times like some bitch ass niggas have come up to me and be like, oh, you work with Nick, he's a white supremacist. I'm like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Oh, why'd you work with Nick? Oh, why'd you have him on your show? He's XYZ. And I tell them the same thing every single time. Fuck you, go pound sand. I don't give a shit what you think. Why is it so hard for people to do that, bro? You know? People are so fucking cowardly. It's like they will go ahead and, you know, work with someone and then denounce them if it's to their benefit or further their career. Fuck that shit. That's whack. Like I told you guys before, and I'll say it again. I'd rather earn less money and be able to have the freedom of what to say whatever the fuck I want to say than have a bunch of money or a bunch of support contingent upon me having certain belief systems or not working with or denouncing certain people. That's gay. Super whack. Super fucking whack.
But you called me on the phone, and
But then again, I'm not a politician, and I'm not like, you know, you guys know I cover politics. It's kind of something that I am, but I would not consider myself like a figure in the right-wing political space. I would consider myself like, you know, a staple in this type of thing. Like I dabble in it, right? I cover all different types of stuff. Self-improvement is how I started. Dating, red pill shit, blah, blah, blah. So I do dabble in politics, obviously, because I like to be diversified, but I wouldn't consider myself a figurehead in the right-wing political space. Does that make sense? Right? Like a lot of these guys have been doing this stuff for years, so I don't think I'm there. But, you know, I'm definitely an outsider looking in, but I find it very interesting how, like, you know, in this fucking arena, people are so quick to denounce you for their own, you know, political gain, right? If it allows them to be able to get access to the president or get access to the White House or get access to certain candidates or politicians, whatever it may be. Me, not coming from the political world, I wasn't poisoned with this fucking very self-serving, I need to rise up the ranks in the political thing, so I got to, you know, step over people to do it. I came in with my own audience. I came into this realm with my own audience. Obviously, some people like what I got to say and have come over that, you know, are, you know, consumers of right-wing political media. But I came in with my own audience, so I didn't have to fucking come in on some fucking bullshit and sell my soul, right? Which I thank God that I was able to build a platform outside of this sphere and then come in with my people so that I can be honest and stay true to myself. The same red lens that I apply to women is what I apply to politics, right? So, but it is incredible how so many people in the right-wing sphere, you know, denounced Nick for so long, but now they're coming around like, oh no, I actually like Nick. Nick, you did everything in your power to keep this guy from being platformed in the mainstream, you know? So it is what it is. But yeah, me coming in as like an outsider, it allowed me to kind of come into this realm or this, I guess, this genre of content with like fresh eyes to see like how things really are, right? You know, when you're doing something for so long, you kind of like, you're immersed in it. So it's very difficult to take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye view. Like for me, I was able to come into the right-wing political space with my eyes wide open because it's a new endeavor. So I was able to come in and kind of look at how people move and shit like that, right? Coming from the red pill self-improvement dating space. But when you're in it, it's very difficult to kind of see how things are when you've been in it for a minute. But that was the first thing I noticed is that Nick was like Candyman to a lot of these fucking guys. Oh, I can't, they're all fucking terrified. I'm like, why y'all niggas so fucking soft? What's so wrong with this guy? It was really fucking baffling how everybody was so goddamn scared, you know, to align with him or to even mention his name. But now they can't avoid him, which is great. So, you know, big W for Nick on that one. Now they have to acknowledge him after trying to fucking censor him and destroy him for so long. They blackballed this guy for like 10 years, man. And the Daily Wire were the main ones on that. You know, Daily Wire and Turning Point USA absolutely did everything in their power to fucking suppress Nick.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was like, from my perspective, I mean, this is all so stupid and inside baseball and whatever. But for the record, I was like, first of all, who is this kid? I'm working at Fox News. I'm aware there's an internet, but I'm more out of it than you may appreciate. And I'm like, out of nowhere, attacking this one. I had Joe Kent here to my house and did this interview with him. And I'm always...
And Joe Kent now, I think, works under Tulsi Gabbard, if I'm not mistaken. This guy right here. And he actually just had a little bit of controversy with your boy Kash Patel. Okay, former United States warrant officer, CIA, blah, 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 blah. In February 2025, Trump named Kent as his nominee for the director of National Counterterrorism Center. That month, he began serving as the chief of staff to Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence. Kent was confirmed by Senate in July. Yeah, so he works right under the DNI, aka Tulsi Gabbard. So he's like her number 2, basically.
In search of a sincere politician, don't have to agree on everything, but I really believe sincerity is the whole game.
Mhm.
If someone's heart is pure, he will be brave.
Mhm.
I always have thought that, and it's turned out to be true. Marjorie's a perfect example. And that's all that matters. If you're afraid inside, if you're weak inside, you will crumble when it matters.
Mhm.
So I really felt like, wow, Joe, don't agree with him on everything, of course, but I was like, this guy is really sincere. He's like a good person. And then you show up and you're like, he's a CIA officer and he was a CIA contractor, but like really like crush the guy. And it's like, why of all people, you agree on 90% of stuff,
Mhm.
you know? That was
Amid
my
all
view.
this
I'm like,
Israel-
well, clearly this kid's a Fed.
Right. But you didn't know the whole story.
I
so,
didn't. You're
yeah.
absolutely right.
And look, and
Yeah, and he was 100% correct. For those of you that don't know, basically, Nick supported Joe Kent, right? And the Groypers did too. He only had one rule: do not denounce me. We will support you. We will help you out. We'll help you in your campaign. Kent agreed. And then when asked, what did Kent do? I'm going to denounce Nick because he says things about them boys. Right? So yeah, rightfully so. He withdrew his support. And, and Joe Kent lost. Rightfully so. Don't fucking backstab your constituents. He gave you one rule. Don't backstab me. And you did precisely that for them boys. So served him right to fucking lose that election.
now that, and I'm not trying to be combative. I think that,
Go ahead. You're not hurting my feelings.
no, I mean, here's what I'm trying to say is now that Marjorie is pushing in the right direction, I absolutely support everything she's saying. And I've not been critical of her at all this year.
And actually, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's getting a lot of heat because she started talking about the kids getting killed in Palestine. She said this is unacceptable. And, obviously in the GOP, that's a problem because we know who runs the GOP, my friends. So to even have a grain of sympathy for dying children in Gaza is considered like a non-starter. Can't do it. Okay? So when she stepped up and said, hey, what we're doing over there, killing kids, is unacceptable, everyone and their mom in the GOP started going after her. So it takes balls, man. It takes balls to be someone who was a staple in MAGA talking about kids dying in Gaza when the GOP is run by them boys. And I would argue the GOP is the last stronghold from which Israel derives an enormous amount of power. Within the Democrats, there's huge fracture there because the shill politicians that have been there forever, the establishment type guys, your Schumers and all these other fucking dickheads, they're still super pro-Israel, even though they don't like to outwardly say it, because obviously we understand that Israel is one of the few things that both the Republicans and the Democrats support no matter what. But there is a new blood in the Democratic Party, aka Mamdani, who are saying, no, we are not going to sit here and, take shekels from the Zionist lobby and support Israel when they're committing a genocide. And I told you guys this before, I'm going to say it again. There's a reason why Bernie and AOC endorsed Mamdani. As you guys know, they had a little rally last week. You Can't Buy New York or whatever was the name of the rally. When Mamdani wins, because I think at this point he's a shoo-in to win for the mayor of New York. When he does, be prepared. The DNC is going to shift forever, and you're going to start seeing more and more candidates lean towards not accepting AIPAC/Zionist donor money. Because in the Democratic Party, Israel's wildly unpopular. We're talking about like single-digit approval ratings for Israel on the left-hand side. But in the GOP, it is still the last stronghold, the last bastion of support for Israel, because boomers that are retarded run the GOP. So MJT speaking up, Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking up on this topic while being obviously a huge MAGA individual before, not so much now. Her and Trump don't really like each other now. And being within the GOP, big fucking deal. So credit to her for that. Credit to her for that. Matt Gaetz as well. Shout out to him for also speaking up on this. Steve Bannon as well, which actually I want to react to Steve Bannon interview I have here that he did with Laura Loomer, where they went back and forth on Israel. We'll watch that as well next.
Yeah.
Because I think that what she's
This is going to be a very politically heavy episode today, guys. You guys can see. So sit back and enjoy, niggas.
doing is extremely courageous. And I think you're right. She is sincere.
So it sounds like your, not to put words in your mouth, but your life experience has left you so stung by the Republican establishment. You don't trust anybody, it sounds like.
Well, no, I mean, these people attacked me when the rules were different, and now they got better, and now I'm good with them. I mean, I'm willing to be good with them, but I think that I don't know if Marjorie still has a problem with me or not.
I don't know. I do know, though, and this is the last criticism I will level, and it's maybe not even your fault, but I do know that, the coordinated attacks against totally reasonable questions about what's in America's interest and what's not, those are all coordinated by the Israeli government. It's all come to light now. And they're against me. I've always thought I have the world's most moderate position on Israel. Don't hate Israel. Just don't want to get involved in their wars. Don't want to pay for this. Don't want to pay for abortion on demand in a foreign country. Sorry. When we're cutting food stamps on our own, that's outrageous. It's not America first. That's my view. Not embarrassed of it at all. They are totally determined to take me out, I think because I'm reasonable. Who would disagree with that? And call me all these names, the most dangerous anti-Semite, when I'm not even an anti-Semite. And they're not doing that to you.
And the reason why is because it's not so much, because I'll be honest with you guys. In my opinion, I think Tucker Carlson has very controlled and safe takes for being critical of Israel. But the reason why they call him a raging anti-Semite and they hate him so much is because he has such a big platform. Guys, your ability to speak freely is 1,000% contingent upon your level of influence. Okay? Me and my guy Andrew Tate have been saying this for years. Your ability to speak freely is 1,000% contingent upon your influence. The more influence you have, the more they are going to restrict your speech if it doesn't align with what they want to hear. Okay? If you're a nobody, you can say all the crazy shit you want to say. Nobody gives a fuck. But once you actually start having influence, once you have an audience, once people care about what you got to say, now it's very dangerous to, at that point, then it becomes very dangerous for you to be able to, give your political opinion on topics. And even though I would say Tucker has extremely reasonable and pragmatic concerns with our support of Israel, the reason why they attack him so viciously, and Candace for that matter, is because of their influence. It's not what they say. It's the level of influence that they wield. That's what scares them.
Because, this is my view, and that's not necessarily your fault, but because they're like, Fuentes discredits the reasonable people because he's always banging on about the Jews. And so he makes everyone else look like a Nazi. And so it's like he's playing a pretty valuable role in the same way that Israel has always funded extremism throughout the Middle East, including Hamas, because it discredits the reasonable people. That's a fact.
Yeah. I would just say I disagree. I mean, because you said the other day, they like me. I don't know what you're talking about when you say that, because
I don't know.
Let me just kind of rebut that.
Well, by the way, I'm not saying you have anything to do with this. I'm just saying I've noticed the phenomenon.
Totally. And I just
Hey, guys, do me
reject
a
that
favor.
because
We got about 3,000 ninjas watching. Do me a favor, guys, and smash that fucking like button for me. Okay? We got, about 4,000 plus you guys in here. 5,000, I think, if we add in party and everything else like that. And guys, party just went through a big update, so it doesn't show view counters yet. But yeah, smash that like button for me, ninjas.
they have been messing with me
If you're watching on YouTube.
for my entire adult life. I mean,
The ADL.
the ADL got me banned on YouTube.
Yeah, fuck the ADL, man. Fuck the ADL and Media Matters and the SPLC. They went after Nick. They went after me. They went after Sneeko. They went after Andrew Tate. They went after fucking everybody, these fucking dickheads. Right? I've explained how censorship works in America before. If you guys want me to go over it again, I can. Because the way that they do censorship in America is different than other places. But yeah, dude. Man. Fuck those guys, dude.
The SPLC posted my house on their website.
What do you mean posted your house?
They posted a photo of my house on their website.
How can they do that?
I guess that's a free speech thing.
The SPLC.
Yes, the ADL was created literally to defend a pedophile. Yes. Yes. Leo Frank. Oh, you guys don't know about the dark history of the ADL?
Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early lie, every single hour, every single day, every single night, early lie. I know it's hard to believe it's the whole forest, not one tree, and it's every branch and leaf. They're born to deceive, but I'm telling you the truth. It's not just one or two.
Yeah, it was literally made to defend this fucking scumbag who raped and killed a 13-year-old girl. They said that he was wrongly convicted. No, bro, he was the fucking person. And what ended up happening was obviously the citizens took justice into their own hands. He tried to blame it on a black dude, and it wasn't true. That was the actual rapist. That's how the ADL was formulated, to defend this guy. A pedo.
SPLC posted a picture of your house on their website?
Yes,
When?
in 2022.
Actually?
Yes, they wrote an article. They said Nick Fuentes bought a building in this city, and they said we interviewed his neighbors and property records reveal this and that. And on the front page, the picture for the article is my house where I live.
That's crazy. And then someone showed up with a gun and tried to kill you at that house?
Yes. So that's why I say, you say, well, they're not doing this to you. It's like the ZOA, the SPLC, the ADL, the Daily Wire. All these groups have been on me for years. So that's news to me if they're really endorsing my activities.
It could just be my perception.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I'm saying is, as someone who thinks his own views are like completely reasonable, pass every smell test, you could x-ray my soul. I don't think there's a lot of hate in there. And to the extent that they do make me feel hateful, the people who attack me, I do like say prayers about it. We're not allowed to hate people, as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's like our core prayer. So I just feel like it's
All right, let me read some of these chats real quick because they're starting to pile up. Thoughts on a Tic Tac video from Commander David Fravor? Didn't see it. Let's see here. McToe says, in gains we trust. Appreciate that, my friend. Myron, I had made it from Zed says, Myron, I had made a clip of your speaking about women extracting value from men. Post a link in the Telegram and we'll like yours and Brett's opinion on it for improvement. Hit up Brett. Brett's the clip guy. /Grabro/ thank you. Hollow Point says, Myron, I low-key think that dreidel spinning chick that keeps showing up on your street interviews has ties to the Israeli government. Why would she keep showing up? Yeah, that was weird that she showed up. And she was there right as I was getting kicked out. 9T/. Myron, would you ever consider changing your theme song from Yay to Silk the Shocker? No. What the fuck's wrong with you, weirdo? We need another Nick Zerka and Sneeko collab. That shit was lit, bro. You the go. Hey, we'll see what happens. Yo, Myron, these dudes dressed up as black dudes at the club, watch this video. Let me see here. Okay, if we have time, we'll go over it. Myron, that Rumble dude talking shit is 100% Puerto Rican, probably. Would you rather have a criminal son or a thought daughter? That's a good question. I don't know. That's a tough question, my friend. Probably a criminal son. HB says, hey, Myron, just a quick question about confrontation. 5 years ago, I got into a fist fight over a girl, thought I could win, and had a total adrenaline dump, went limp, and got beat. Ever since I've been afraid of confrontation, I keep feeling my body wanting to freeze again in similar situation. Even more embarrassingly, I'm 195, an otherwise talented boxer. What the fuck do I do? Number one, don't fight over women. That's retarded. Number two, keep training and start sparring more so that when the rubber meets the road and you have to get into a confrontation and actually fight with someone, it's not going to be anything new. Because if you're a talented boxer, like, you should already know how to fucking fight, bro. So that shouldn't even be a problem. So you need to spar more, bro. That's what it is. Hitting pads all day isn't going to do shit. You need to start sparring with niggas. That's the closest you're going to come to actually really getting into a fight. You need to spar more. Hitting mitts doesn't mean shit. Everybody can look like a fucking star hitting mitts. That man, people still think white supremacy exists, not knowing it's really J supremacy that's fucking America up. Absolutely. Mazes, Myron, not sure if my girlfriend is a honeypot. I just found out she converted it to Orthodoxy from being a J. Should I break up with her? I thought she was always a Christian Orthodox from Poland. Ooh. Sir, the Mossad is after you. Crypto Zoo. MTG was on Bill Maher last night, and I must say she really impressed me. Yeah, we can look at that real quick. Let me pull that up real quick, because I did see that she did do
Like completely reasonable.
Bill Maher, and people got really mad about that. We could watch a little bit of it. But Bill Maher is such a pretentious fucking dickhead. And yes, if you're wondering,
Every single
yes.
time, every single
Yes, the nose never lies. What else do we got here? Alex says, if you were to order Uber Eats and a Jeep delivered the food, would you cancel the order? Probably yes.
Thank you. Come again.
Milan, not ADL, but PDL. Facts. Some of that says, did you realize how much reach you had at the time you got demonetized and people started threatening you? Or did it all come as a surprise? Kia with the great work. How much reach I had when I got demonetized in 2023? I mean, I knew we had reach by it. I didn't think that we were going to get reached like by that. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't realize like these right-wing, because it was all right-wing conservative media censors. ADL, SPLC, Media Matters, they all targeted us after when they had never targeted us before. Do you know that Jonathan Greenblatt has comments disabled on his comment section? I wonder why. Of course they do, bro. Yo, the ADL has all their shit disabled on comments. Come on, man. Jeremy, do you think you'll have MELTDOWN? We just had him on, bro. We literally just had him on like a few weeks ago. 19.7. Did you see the video of the 3 cops that showed up to some dude's house because he was talking about? Yeah, I did see that. Fucking retarded in Texas. I saw that. Zed says, Tay Martin, I write about censorship and losing work. I lost work with certain voice actors because I told them I learned AI from his school and automatically labeled me as a danger and I was still a nobody. Yeah, bro. That's why I tell you guys, yo, you guys got to listen to me with your headphones in, bro. You guys will lose opportunities if people know that you guys like fuck with people like me or other individuals they consider, you know, extremists or radicalists. That's what they consider us, bro.
I don't know. Am I being paranoid? I feel like going on about the Jews like helps the neocons. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
what about my views do you think are unreasonable if yours are reasonable?
I think,
Oh, shit. Good question.
again, I don't think it's cucky. I think it's reality to say that guilt is not inherited. Blood guilt is bad. One of the reasons that I'm mad about Gaza is because the Israeli position is everyone who lives in Gaza is a terrorist because of how they were born, including the women and the children. That's not a Western view. That's an Eastern view. That's a non-Christian. That's totally incompatible with Christianity and Western civilization. They say, oh, we're the defenders of Western civilization. Not with that attitude. You're not. Collective punishment is the enemy of Western civilization.
Yeah.
And so I hate that attitude. It's genocidal.
And it is an attitude that all the Israelis hold, by the way, FYI. If you guys were wondering, the reason why the Israelis are able to do the shit that they do, where they, you know, starve these people, kill these people, drop bombs on these people, etc., is because they don't see them as human. That's how they're able to do the bullshit that they do. The number one way, right, to conduct a genocide and be able to kill people and exterminate them systemically like the Israelis have done or like the RSF is doing right now in Sudan is you must look at those people as non-human. That is step one to the process of mass extermination. Once you look at them as not human, it becomes significantly easier to mass kill them. And this, my friends, is exactly how the Israelis feel about the Palestinians. They won't overtly admit this unless like they're fucking Smotrich or Ben Gvir, but that's how they feel. And that is why they indiscriminately bomb Gaza for the past 2 years. They've been doing it forever. And they've been doing this for a long time, chat. It's just that the world is finally starting to wake up and realize it, especially the West, now. Only now are they figuring this shit out. And I give credit to Tucker and I give credit to Candace Owens, Theo Von. Look, some of you guys might say, oh, well, they don't go hard enough. They use Zionists. They call them Frankists. That's stupid. Look, that's not what matters. The fact is that they're talking about the topic, maybe in a roundabout way, maybe in a way that you might not like. It might not be direct enough. But guess what? If you find Tucker Carlson, you'll find Nick. You find Nick, you find me. You find, Candace, you find Theo Von, you might find me, right? You might find someone that's a bit more, how do I say this? Directly confronting the problem. But the fact that they're bringing attention to it in itself is huge. Huge. That's why I don't really beat up Tucker or Candace too much for kind of dancing around it, using terms like Frankist and Zionist, whatever. We can make jokes every now and then about it, but there's no disputing that between Candace and Theo Von and Tucker and shit like that, they've woken up millions about this thing. They've woken up so many normies that otherwise would never have found out about this shit.
The current claims that I'm a cancer, from Ben Shapiro or whatever, we need to be excised from the body of conservatism, is a genocidal position that it basically encourages violence, as they well know. The whole thing I hate.
Right back, ninjas.
So like anytime you say a whole group of people is responsible for the sins of some of its members, like I'm out.
Yeah, but that's not my view.
It's not. Okay. So tell me your views. Like rather than, you're one of those people, one of the reasons I wanted to meet you is you're one of those people who is defined by clips.
Yes.
And I'm one of those people also.
Yes.
Right? So I get it. So I'm going to just shut up and you tell me what you actually believe.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I mean, and I appreciate you saying that because that's just the reality of the media environment we're in. So I don't expect you to know all my views, but I mean, as far as the Jews are concerned, I think that, like I said, you cannot actually divorce Israel and the neocons and all of those things that you talk about from Jewishness, ethnicity, religion, identity. And let me give you like a perfect example. So you say on your show that we need to treat Israel like any other country. And I sort of understand that in principle because Israel is another foreign country.
Yeah.
But Israel is unlike every other country in the sense that.
All right. You guys are probably going to ask me this, so let me just say it right now. Dried mangoes, protein shake, iconic, right? Niggas don't pay me. I'm just telling you guys this. And I drink this, guys, even though it has 20 grams of protein, pisses me off. I drink this because it has greens in it. It has spinach in it, right? It has like 2 servings of vegetables. And then I got some Quest chips right here, protein chips, my favorite flavor, barbecue. Some of you dumb niggas in here are going to say seed oils. Meanwhile, you're fat as fuck with a triple chin, which is always funny to me. But yes, this is how your boy Myron stays lean year round. Okay? And for those that are wondering, I'm at about 190 to 100. I fluctuate between 190 to 200, 6'3". Most of the time I'm closer to like 190, 195-ish. Right? So yeah. So someone, of course, are saying, oh, bro, seed oil chips. Half you niggas are fat. So it doesn't matter what you really fucking say or think. But yeah. Calories in versus calories out. Get high protein and you're good. Get 1 gram per pound of body weight. You'll be straight most of the time, guys. This fitness shit is not as hard as people try to make it. Trust me, it's really not.
Because
track your calories and you'll be good. You won't be fat.
The Jewish people are in a diaspora all over the world. There are significant numbers of Jews in Europe, but also in the United States. And because of their unique heritage and story, which is that they're a stateless people, they're unassimilable, they resist assimilation for thousands of years. And I think that's a good thing. And now they have this territory in Israel. There's a deep religious affection for the state. It's bound up in their identity, the story of the Exodus from Egypt, the promise of the land, all these things. So let's say in the United States, for example, somebody like a Sheldon Adelson, he's not Israeli. Is he an ideological neocon? Does he believe in the promise of democratic globalism? I don't think necessarily. His heart is in Israel. And it's because he is a proud Jewish person. And I guess what I'm saying is that if you are a Jewish person.
And this is very important. The person that he's mentioning right now, in case you guys are wondering.
Every single time, every single crime, every single lie, early lie, every single hour, every single day, every single night, early lie. I know it's hard to believe it's the whole forest, not one tree, and it's every branch and leaf. They're born to deceive, but I'm telling you the truth. It's not just 1 or 2, it's every single Jew. They all
now, just so you guys understand, let's bring this all together. This guy, Sheldon Adelson, who his wife is who? Miriam Adelson. He passed away, but Miriam Adelson is still alive. Biggest donor for the GOP, okay? Basically, they gave Trump $100 million on his last run. I think $300 million altogether, okay? They're Americans, but they are hardcore Zionists. They love Israel, okay? They have a very strong affinity to it. This is what Nick is talking about. And so much so that when this guy got released, he got a pardon by a lot of pressure by the Zionist lobby. He got a pardon from Donald Trump or commutation, whatever the fuck it may be. He was released in 2020 and allowed to fly back to Israel. How did he get back to Israel? And who's he meet at the tarmac by? Benjamin Netanyahu. This guy was a spy, chat. Stole American technology and information and gave it to the Russians in exchange for basically Russia releasing Jews, right? So he betrayed the United States for Russia, right? Well, he sold secrets to them for the benefit of the Jewish people. And then he's basically released and met at the tarmac by who? Benjamin Netanyahu, a spy. And how did he get there? He used a jet that was owned by who? Sheldon Adelson. So spy betrays country, gets pardoned, allowed to fly back to Israel, met at the tarmac by the Israeli prime minister, flies in a jet owned by Sheldon Adelson, who paid Donald Trump $100 million. You see why this is a problem now with this Israeli influence chat? Do you see why this is a big, big fucking problem? So when I say things like Israeli influence in American politics is a bad thing, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Powerful billionaires with an affinity to a foreign nation lobby to undermine our laws, our security, for the benefit of another country, and use their influence and power as Americans to better a foreign nation. In this case, get a spy released and get a spy flown to Israel on a private jet to be met by the Israeli prime minister. Are you guys starting to see the red pills now? Probably shocked a lot of you right now. Some of you guys already know this. That's fine. Longtime supporters, people that have been watching me for a while, y'all already know this. But I can see some people in chat saying, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. Yes, my friends. Yes. Now you guys see why Israeli influence is a problem in America. And this is what Nick is talking about with Sheldon Adelson.
Person in America, you're sort of, and again, it's not because they're born, but it's sort of a rational self-interest politically to say, I'm a minority. I'm a religious ethnic minority. This is not really my home. My ancestral home.
This guy says, bro, stop dumbing it down with the sound effects. How about this? You get the fuck out of my chat. The fuck out of here, YouTube nigga. You must be new here, bitch. I'm using sound effects since I started doing podcasting. Shut the fuck up, SR.
Is in Israel.
You're banished to the shadow realm, nigga. It's called entertainment. If I go through this boringly and just show you guys who these people are, you're not going to remember. But when I play this shit,
Every single time, every single crime.
it's going to be far more memorable. So shut the fuck up. I do the show the way that I want. All right, bitch? Shut the fuck up.
There's like a natural affinity that Jews have for Israel. And I would say on top of that, for the international Jewish community. They're extremely organized. And many of them are critical of Israel or Israel's current government or the project of Israel. But I guess what they have in common, unlike, let's say, like Singapore, for example, is that they have this international community across borders, extremely organized, that is...
Then we got another loser in YouTube chat saying it's corny. Draco Bats. Well, guess what's also corny, bro? The Shadow Realm. Goodbye, nigga. Fucking loser.
Putting the interests of themselves before the...
And it's stupid YouTube niggas that are saying this, by the way.
Interests of their home country. And there's no other country that has a similar arrangement like that. No other country has a strong identity like that. This religious blood and soil conviction, this history of being in the diaspora, stateless, wandering, persecuted, and in particular, the historic animosity between the Jewish people and the Europeans. They hate the Romans because the Romans destroyed the temple. That's why Eric Weinstein goes to the Arch of Titus and gives it the finger and takes a picture.
Eric Weinstein, another fucking pussy. Blocked me on Twitter, by the way, because he's a bitch, right? This fucking loser right here. Who I don't even know how this guy's fucking famous. Like, fucking, what's it called? We'll interview him. Chris Williamson interviews this retard all the time, but will not sit down with me or Rollo Tomasi. Which is fucking weird to me. He got on Rogan somehow. I don't even know how this nigga's famous. Here he is with Chris Williamson. Chris will bring this fucking retard on, or Sadia Khan, on dating, but will not fucking bring me or Rollo on. So fucking weird. So fucking weird. But yeah, this dude Eric Weinstein is a bitch. Here, I'll show you guys what I mean. I think I like made fun of him one time and he fucking blocked me. Let me see if he still has me blocked. Yep, bitch ass nigga. Not surprised.
We don't think like that as Americans and white people. We don't think about the Roman Empire in 2,000 years ago. They do. And so I guess that's really, and I don't think that's me saying the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. I don't think that's me being hateful. I don't think that's me being collectivist. I think that's understanding that identity politics, whether you love it or hate it, whatever you feel about it, it's a reality that we live in a world of Jews and Christians, of whites and blacks. These identities mean something to us and they mean things to each other. And
it means a lot to them, but they call you anti-Semite if you point out that it means a lot to them. Very key distinction, guys. Identity politics is huge for the Jews and the Zionists, but they don't want you to fucking ever talk about it. You could talk about it with everything else. When you talk about it with them, anti-Semitism, oy vey, you know?
Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. They know we run the banks.
we can't sort of wish them away. And it feels like white people and Christians are the only ones that do that.
There's no question about that, your last point, for sure. One of the reasons they do that is because they've been taught to hate themselves, of course, since the Second World War. Another reason is, however, the reality of a multi-ethnic country requires you to sort of set aside community or group interests in favor of corporate interests, universal interests, national interests. And you have to do that or else it doesn't work. And so, I agree those attitudes. I mean, certainly in other parts of the world, people think this way, but you can't have that here. And so it's just important to remind everybody that, things may be generally true, but like, again, they're not always true. And there are people who just strongly disagree. And by the way, in the specific case of Israel, there are a ton of Orthodox who I know who are opposed to the state of Israel. They're they're more Jewish than Dave Rubin, a lot more. And yet they oppose it. Jeff Sachs is like the most wonderful man, the most artistic.
Yeah, shout out Jeffrey Sachs. I think he's a professor at Columbia in New York City. Been a hardcore critic of Israel and foreign policy.
Jewish, the most articulate kind of critic of the state of Israel that I'm aware of. So like, I don't know, that's just meaningful. You can't, if everything is inherited, then there's no hope for the continuation of America. Mm-hmm. Do you see that?
Yeah, I don't think it's genetically inherited. And what you're saying about putting aside the tribal interest for the corporate interest,
yes,
that's absolutely the case. And that's the only way the country's going to stay together.
Exactly.
And
that's my concern.
And I absolutely agree with you. I would say, though, that the main challenge to that, a big challenge to that, is organized Jewry in America. I don't think Bill Ackman is capable of that. I don't think Sheldon Adelson is capable of that. I don't think Yoram Hazony is capable of that, for that matter. And many other, on the right and the left. And I see Jewishness as the common denominator. And you're right. It's not all Jewish people feel the same way. No one would say that, but that does seem to be the common denominator. And I just feel like it needs to be called out explicitly. And I like what you said. The other day, if you're serving in another country's military or have dual citizenship, you really can't be a part of this project.
Well, that's an easy one, but I am much more comfortable as a Christian.
All right, guys, time to switch over to party. We're going to switch over to party, finish this interview over there. We're also going to cover a whole bunch of stuff Steve Bannon and Laura. We're going to cover TPUSA, shooting back at Ian Carroll, etc. The link is right here, guys. Party.com/Myron Gaines. Come on over. Saturdays are party days. Party and OSS only. If you guys are on OSS, you're fine. Stay where you're at. But we are switching everything else over to party. Party only, guys. I'm getting off YouTube, X, and Kick. Come on over. Dropping a link for you guys. Coming over to party right now. Party.com/Myron Gaines, another streaming platform. They fixed it, by the way. It's going to be way better quality. It's way better quality now. Or you can join OSS for $1, whichever one you want to join. So, we're going to party. All right, guys? It's party time, niggas. Closing out YouTube and X right now, and Kick. Party and OSS only. Come on over, guys.